Hey everybody, welcome to another video. Why can I teach hypnosis as fast as I do? My hypnosis, actually hypnotherapy certification program is one of the quickest and most efficiently delivered hypnotherapy certification programs out there. It has many different components. It has ongoing support. It has all kinds of stuff built into it. But the actual live training portion is 3 intensive days. So why is it? How is it that I can teach people and get them certified by the ABH as a hypnotherapist in 3 days when other training programs are, 7 days, 10 days, 3 months, and so on? Well, the first part of the answer is you can show somebody how to hypnotize another human being in less than an hour. You can teach, a good trainer can teach a person how to hypnotize another person in less than an hour if they know what they're doing, right? And a lot of trainers do know what they're doing, right? It's not actually that hard. Once you really understand how hypnosis and hypnotherapy works, it's actually not that hard to hypnotize another person. There's a little bit more to it when we're talking about clinical hypnosis and hypnotherapy and certified hypnotherapy work, where we're actually making therapeutic suggestions that cause change at the unconscious level. But you don't need that long, right? You don't need that long to actually have the foundation in place, to actually have the essential portions in place, and to actually make a person effective in this skill. And why would what are the benefits of getting this knowledge and getting this skill quickly? Well, let's talk about return on investment, right? When you're investing in yourself because you want to build a skill that's going to make you more money, that's going to allow you to do more things, that's going to allow you to help other people and live the life you want to live, you're investing 2 things. Actually, you're investing 3 things. One of them is energy. And then you're also investing your time and your money. And obviously, the more money you invest, the more of a sacrifice that is in order to get a desired return. But a lot of people don't realize, the more time you invest, it's also a sacrifice. It's time away from work. It's time away from the kids. It's time away from family. It's time you could be otherwise making money instead of spending money on training, right? So a lot of people, have this mindset that like, oh, the longer the training, the better. The longer the training, the more value I'm getting. And maybe there's some merit to that, but there's also a lot of merit if we're looking at, a skill, and if the skill is comparable, the faster you can obtain that skill and master it, and the faster you can integrate that skill into your life and your business, the better the return on investment, right? Because that's less time away from work and connecting with clients and all that good stuff. So that brings me back to Dr. Krasner. Here's a picture of Dr. Krasner. Dr. Al Krasner, A.M. Krasner, the late Dr. Krasner. He's passed away now. So Dr. Krasner was a doctor of psychology. He was a regular traditional talk therapist doing, psychoanalysis and similar work with his clients back in the 70s. And he was a darn good one. But like many talk therapists and people in that psychoanalysis, psychotherapy world, change was often slow with his clients. He was having to see his clients, continuously or for dozens or hundreds of sessions in order to affect change. And then one night something really interesting happened. His wife took him to a stage hypnosis show. Which is, the entertainment side of the hypnosis industry. And Dr. Krasner was there, and he was sitting and he was watching, and he loved it. And he was amazed at what he saw, because this hypnotist who was bringing people on stage, he wasn't just getting them to do entertaining, things. He was also affecting change with them. Very rapid, almost instantaneous change. It's unclear in the history books exactly what this change was, whether it was helping people to become non-smokers in a matter of minutes or seconds, or having them release old pain, or whether emotional or physical, or whatever, whatever behavior changes were happening. But Dr. Krasner was watching this and he was thinking, oh boy, this person is doing in seconds or minutes what takes me weeks, months, or years in my regular practice, right? Dr. Krasner had this experience. And he was so moved by what he saw, he thought, I've really got to investigate this hypnotherapy stuff, this hypnosis stuff, and see what this is all about, right? Because remember, this is the 70s. This is before the internet. This is before, sort of this acceptance of the power of hypnotherapy that we enjoy, that we take for granted now in 2021, right? Back then, there was no Ryan Montes online to go and get the facts. There was no, Mike Mandel. There was no Freddie Jacquin yet. All of us trainers that are out here delivering efficient and quick, and useful and powerful training. So Dr. Krasner had to go, and back then the way to learn hypnotherapy was to study hypnotherapy in the books, right? Go through the history of hypnotherapy, and there's many, many, many volumes, of writing by the greats, that have preceded the current generation of hypnotherapists. And of course, Dr. Erickson was operating at the time. And so Dr. Krasner did all the research, he did all the work, he did all the reading, hundreds or thousands of hours of reading. And he said, there's something here. This is really powerful stuff. And he started using it in his practice. He started using it in his own practice and getting seemingly miraculous results with his clients. And he got really busy, and it was really effective. And he actually stopped doing traditional psychotherapy, and became just a hypnotherapist, right? Dr. Krasner doing only hypnotherapy in his practice. And then he was so busy, he started training other people to do it too, and opening other clinics. And he was so busy, they just couldn't keep up with the demand. He thought, okay, I'm going to need to design a training so that I can, deputize other people to use this skill that I'm using, so that I can create other hypnotherapists, because there's so much demand for this service of hypnotherapy. And so Dr. Krasner realized, there's no time for people to go out and spend hundreds or thousands of hours studying. There's no time and there's no need for them to spend, months or weeks or years training. I'm just going to take, exactly what I do, because most of my sessions are the same. Dr. Krasner's reasoning. I'm going to take exactly what I do. I'm going to distill it down to a formula, and then I'm going to teach that formula. And that's what Dr. Krasner did. And for, I believe it was a few decades, or at least a couple of decades, he traveled the world teaching his Krasner method of hypnotherapy. And the live training portion, again, it's taught over 3 days. In fact, he always ran it in the same pattern: Friday evening, full day Saturday, full day Sunday. He used to run 40 of these trainings per year. 40 of these trainings per year. He would work 40 weekends out of the year and run these trainings. Him and his wife would travel around, big full rooms of people, taking people from zero experience in hypnosis to a certified hypnotherapist who can get predictable and reliable results using Dr. Krasner's very specific method and formula of hypnosis, right? Anyway, so he wrote, based on his experience, based on his specific flavor of hypnotherapy, he wrote this book, The Wizard Within, which I highly recommend. If you're interested in hypnosis or the unconscious mind or the subconscious mind or hypnotherapy, I highly recommend this book. This is actually one of the course texts for the program that I run now. So that's how I can, thanks to Dr. Krasner, that's how one of the ways that I run a very quick, very efficient, I call it the boot camp of hypnosis and hypnotherapy. Get in, get the formula, use the formula actually within the training. Get your practice within the training there under the supervision of a board designated instructor, so that by the time you leave, you've already done everything. You've already hypnotized a person. You've already got a result for a person. And it's a really incredible, intensive, but fun and efficient way to learn. And so, thank you very much to the person who said, who asked me the question recently, how can you run these trainings so quickly? And, I've given you my, the full story. And I mean, ultimately the answer is thanks to Al, thanks to Dr. Krasner. And, I'm not the only one that thinks this way, right? There's some of the brilliant hypnotherapists and hypnosis trainers out there. Mark Cunningham, Dr. Mark Cunningham said, I can't understand how a person can run a hypnosis training in longer than 2 days, right? Dr. David Snyder, recently I was on a Zoom call with him, and he said, who does it benefit to make things more complicated than they need to be? Who does it benefit to make things more complicated than it needs to be? Dr. Freddie Jacquin runs, ran a program called Modern Hypnotherapy in Toronto a few years ago. Excellent program. He's one of the leading hypnotherapists in the world. It was a 2-day program, right? Anyway, so long story short, hypnosis, when we work with our clients, when you work with your clients, is a fast process. We want to see change in the first session. We want to see a 93% success rate after 6 sessions as an industry average, right? Which is true. So why do we need, the process of learning hypnosis to be long or drawn out or complicated? We don't. We don't need it to be that way. We can learn it quick. We can get the skill. We can do the boot camp of hypnotherapy and get out there and start getting, first of all, empower ourselves with the knowledge and information and use the skills on ourselves, but get out there because people need this service. People need the hypnotherapy. People need the hypnosis. People need to bring their unconscious mind into alignment with their goals, with their desires in life to get the results that they want. People need to release the habit of smoking. People need to release, the excess weight. People need to release disempowering unconscious beliefs, and people need to reprogram their self-image to bring it into alignment with their desires and their true, potential in life, right? And everything that puts a greater delay on getting people trained and out and helping those people is causing further suffering in the world ultimately, because then it's delay, with those people who are waiting for help, right? And if you're thinking about becoming a coach, or you're thinking about becoming a hypnotherapist, or you're thinking about becoming a hypnotist or an NLP practitioner or whatever, just know that there are people out there that probably resonate with you very much on a personal level. And if you were to offer, your services to them, they'd want to work with you. And maybe what if you're the only person that they resonate with, right? And if you don't get off your butt and get trained and get out there and actually start offering these services, well, how many people out there are just not going to wind up seeing anybody, right? I've had students who have come to me and taken my training program, and they said, if I didn't find you, I probably never would have taken this program, right? So imagine if I waited around, or if I, spent an extra couple of years trying to sort out becoming a trainer, how many lives could have been impacted. Anyways, this video is very much dedicated to the late Dr. Al Krasner, one of my favorite people, one of the, unsung heroes, in my opinion, of the modern hypnotherapy era. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. If you have any comments, drop them in the comments. If you're interested in getting trained, send me a direct message. I'm happy to chat about that. I think I have 2 or 3 spots left for my April programs. They're going to be all full very soon. So send me a message and we can chat about that. Thanks, everybody. For those of you that hopped on the Finding Nirvana event, which was about an hour and a bit ago, I was talking. Thank you for being there. Some of you even sent me screenshots of me talking in Facebook private messages. So thank you very much if you were one of those people, or if you saw me at the Finding Nirvana event. There was over 100 people in the audience, young people, and it was such a privilege and an honor to speak at that event, and a lot of fun too. So thanks, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be speaking with you again tomorrow morning. Have a great night. Talk to you soon.